The starship Elysium drifted silently through the void, its sleek, silver hull reflecting the faint light of a distant sun. On board, Dr. Evelyn Carter, a renowned xenobiologist, was deep in her research, studying the unique flora and fauna of the newly discovered planet, Zephyria. The planet was a marvel, teeming with life forms that defied Earth's understanding of biology. But nothing could have prepared her for what was about to happen. It was a routine day in the lab when the door slid open with a soft hiss. Evelyn looked up from her microscope to see a tall, strikingly beautiful woman standing in the doorway. Her skin had a faint, iridescent glow, and her eyes were a deep, mesmerizing violet. She was dressed in a flowing, silvery gown that seemed to shimmer with every movement. Evelyn recognized her immediately. It was Lyra, an ambassador from the Zephyrian people. "Dr. Carter," Lyra said, her voice melodic and soothing. "I need to speak with you. It's urgent." Evelyn stood, brushing a strand of auburn hair from her face. "Of course, Ambassador Lyra. What can I do for you?" Lyra stepped into the lab, the door sliding shut behind her. She took a deep breath, her violet eyes locking onto Evelyn's. "I'm pregnant," she said, her voice steady but with an underlying urgency. "And you're the father." Evelyn blinked, her mind struggling to process the words. "I'm sorry, what?" Lyra stepped closer, her gaze unwavering. "You are the father of my child. According to Zephyrian custom, you must marry me." Evelyn's mouth opened, but no words came out. She shook her head, trying to make sense of the situation. "But that's impossible. I'm a woman, and we haven't." Lyra raised a hand, silencing her. "On Zephyria, reproduction is not limited by gender or physical contact. Our biology is different. When we form a deep emotional connection with someone, our bodies can spontaneously conceive. The child is a blend of both parents' genetic material, regardless of their species or gender." Evelyn's mind raced. She had heard of the Zephyrians' unique biology, but this was beyond anything she had ever imagined. "But we've only known each other for a few weeks. How could this happen?" Lyra's expression softened. "Time is not a factor for us. The connection we formed during our discussions, our shared curiosity about each other's worlds, that was enough. My body recognized you as a suitable partner, and now we are bound by this child." Evelyn sank into a chair, her legs feeling like jelly. "This is a lot to take in." Lyra knelt before her, taking Evelyn's hands in her own. Her touch was warm, comforting. "I understand this is unexpected, but on Zephyria, this is a great honor. You have been chosen to be part of something extraordinary. Our child will be a bridge between our worlds, a symbol of unity and hope." Evelyn looked into Lyra's eyes, seeing the sincerity and determination there. She took a deep breath, trying to steady her thoughts. "What happens if I say no?" Lyra's expression darkened slightly. "On Zephyria, refusing such a bond is considered a grave insult. It would strain relations between our people, and the child would be raised without one of its parents. But I believe you're not the kind of person who would abandon your responsibilities." Evelyn's mind was a whirlwind of emotions: shock, confusion, fear, but also a strange sense of wonder. She had dedicated her life to understanding alien life forms, but she had never imagined becoming part of one. And yet, the idea of a child, a living symbol of the connection between two species, was undeniably compelling. "Can I have some time to think about this?" Evelyn asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Lyra nodded, standing gracefully. "Of course, but please do not take too long. The child grows quickly, and we must prepare for its arrival." With that, Lyra turned and left the lab, leaving Evelyn alone with her thoughts. The next few days were a blur. Evelyn pored over her research, trying to find any information that could help her understand what was happening. She consulted with the ship's AI, analyzed Lyra's genetic data, and even reached out to her colleagues on Earth. But the more she learned, the more she realized that this was something entirely new, something that defied all known science. She also found herself thinking about Lyra. The Zephyrian ambassador was unlike anyone she had ever met. Intelligent, compassionate, and fiercely dedicated to her people. Evelyn couldn't deny the connection they had formed, even if it had led to this bizarre situation. Finally, after days of soul-searching, Evelyn made her decision. She requested a meeting with Lyra in the ship's observation deck, a room with a panoramic view of the stars. Lyra arrived, her silver gown shimmering in the starlight. "Have you made your choice?" she asked, her voice calm, but with a hint of apprehension. Evelyn took a deep breath, her heart pounding in her chest. "Yes, I'll do it. I'll marry you." Lyra's eyes lit up with joy, and she stepped forward, taking Evelyn's hands in her own. "Thank you, Evelyn. You have no idea how much this means to me, to my people." Evelyn managed a small smile. "I still have a lot of questions, and I'm not sure what this will mean for my life, but I can't ignore the fact that this child is a part of me, too. And if it can help bring our worlds closer together, then it's worth it." Lyra's smile was radiant, and for the first time, Evelyn felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe this wasn't the end of her life as she knew it, but the beginning of something extraordinary. The wedding was a simple ceremony held in the ship's garden, a lush oasis filled with plants from both Earth and Zephyria. The crew attended, their faces a mix of curiosity and awe as they witnessed the union of two species. Evelyn wore a simple white dress, while Lyra was resplendent in her silver gown. They exchanged vows, promising to support and care for each other, and for the child they would soon welcome into the world. As the ceremony concluded, the crew erupted into applause, and Evelyn felt a strange sense of peace. She still had doubts, still wondered what the future would hold, but in that moment, she knew she had made the right choice. Months passed, and Evelyn's life changed in ways she could never have imagined. She and Lyra grew closer, their bond deepening as they prepared for the arrival of their child. Evelyn continued her research, but now it was with a new purpose, to understand the unique biology of her own child, a being that was both human and Zephyrian. When the time finally came, Evelyn was by Lyra's side as she gave birth to a healthy baby girl. The child was beautiful, with Evelyn's auburn hair and Lyra's violet eyes. She was a living symbol of the connection between their worlds, a beacon of hope for the future. As Evelyn held her daughter for the first time, she felt a surge of love and protectiveness that she had never known before. She looked at Lyra, who was smiling through tears of joy, and knew that they had created something truly special. In the years that followed, Evelyn and Lyra raised their daughter together, teaching her about both of her heritages. The child, named Nova, grew up to be a brilliant and compassionate young woman dedicated to bridging the gap between humans and Zephyrians.